Hello and welcome to Kingston Now. I'm Jimmy Buff. Coming up on the show this week, we're going to meet musical prodigy Connor Kennedy, named one of the people to watch in 2012 by Hudson Valley Magazine. First, though, we're going to meet some of the people who run the Kiwanis Club of Kingston. Joining us now is Ken Backofen, Al Teetsel, and David Howells. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So like a lot of people, I drive into a town or a city and I see a sign that says the Kiwanis Club of, in this case Kingston, welcomes you to Kingston. I sort of know that it's an organization that does good things for the community, but I don't know a lot about it. So I'm going to ask you, tell me about the Kiwanis Club. Al, I'm going to start with you. When did the national organization start, and when did the Kingston chapter start?
Well, basically, Kiwanis International was founded in 1915. 2015 will celebrate our 100th anniversary of doing things for our community. In 1921, is that correct? Yeah, I'm sorry, 1921, I'm sorry. 1921, we met at a Cunio's Hotel in Lake Katrine, and a few years later we wound up meeting at the local YMCA, and it basically at that particular time it was business people of our community, attorneys, doctors, lawyers, and store owners. But later on, we broadened our spectrum, and in 1987, we admitted women into the Kiwanis Club. We moved around a lot. We started out at Cunio's Hotel, like a train, the YMCA, then later on we went to the Governor Clinton Hotel, and then we went to the Hillside Manor, and now we're at Skytop. We meet every Thursday. For luncheon. It's roughly 45 minutes to an hour, so we can get the people back to their particular business. We do a lot for the community. Children's Rehab Center, scholarship program that we have. Our recent capers raised in excess of $20,000, which goes back out in the form of $21,000 scholarships. And it's in the course of all those years, we've probably given close to $650,000 in scholarships. That's not counting our youth services, which average around anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 a year. I happen to be lieutenant governor for the division, which represents about 7 clubs in the Hudson Valley. I'm currently treasurer of the Kingston Kiwanis Club. Next September will represent 39 and a half years as treasurer. That's what happens to bankers. They never lose interest. They become a permanent treasurer. But Ken Backofen is our new president this year. I think we're going to have a dynamic year. He's got a lot of good things planned, one of which I think is going to be a great social event. Is acknowledging 25 years of women in Kiwanis. I think we've had over the 25 years we've had 39 women in Kiwanis. Some have stayed, some have moved on, retired, or whatever. But our membership is holding at about 104. We do a lot for the community. You may be aware of we took over the Kingston Classic 2 years ago. The last year we had 189 volunteers in helping us out, and it was just not all Kiwanians, and the vast majority was, but we had a number of other service organizations, church groups, and schools helping us and volunteer in direction of the traffic.
I think you're answering all my questions.
I'm known from there. I can tell you about Ken.
That's great.
He asked me, tells me just before the show, you're going to do the talk. And I said,
well, actually,
okay,
let's
nice
hear
for
from,
telling me. But let's go to Ken.
Let's hear from Ken, since you're the new president. Hi, Ken.
As a new president, I'm proud to be president of the Kingston Kiwanis. It's a great honor, and we've done an awful lot. Now, I've been a member since 1997, and actually I came in under the first female president that we had, which is Mary Snyder, and since then, we've done an awful lot for the community, and I've learned an awful lot about the Kiwanis International and what we do here at the district and what we do here for the community. We're very, very active, and this year I really hope to have the club more active in not only the social end of it, but also the way we can service the community. And the other goal is to really set up with the different service organizations at least a quarterly meeting where we all get together and discuss what we can do for the community. And I have met with the mayor a couple of times to discuss this, and I think it could be a good year that we're going to have in 2012.
Well, terrific. I want to hear about some of the events you've got planned too for the end of 2012 and 2013, and we might even hear from David when we come back in the next segment.
I'm just arm candy.
This is Kingston Now. More about the Kiwanis Club of Kingston when we return. Welcome back to Kingston Now. This week we're talking about the Kiwanis Club of Kingston with members Ken Backofen, Al Teetsel, and David Howells. And David, how did you get involved with the Kiwanis Club? You're a chiropractor?
I'm a chiropractor. Well, like a lot of people that first come into a community and they're looking to network, you look for a service organization, and that's what I was told to do, so that's what I did. And which initially, yeah, it did help my business. But what was more important, that it got me involved with the community. If you want the community to give to you, you've got to give to it. And the Kingston Kiwanis has been an amazing resource for that. I've gotten involved with Make-A-Wish, with the Sophie Finn Volunteer Mentor Program, with the JFK Mentor Program. We've worked with the Darmstadt Shelter, with People's Place. So we are kind of a checkbook to the community, that's true, but we're also a hands-on, get involved, roll up the sleeves, and get out there, and we're a visible presence.
The motto change that I talked about before the break, I'm going to actually ask Al about, which is, it used to be, the original motto was "We build," and now it's "Serving the children of the world," and there's actually a paragraph that on the national or international Kiwanis website that says "One child, one community." How does...
Well, it basically says Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to change the world one child at a time and one community at a time. And that's exactly what the Kingston Club does.
How?
How?
Yes.
By participating, okay? By participating with the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA. I mentioned to you earlier about the Kingston Classic. I mean, when you have close to 1,000 runners and just multiply that by family and friends that are along the route, and to have cheering sections along the route and having the actual runners vote for those cheering sections, that they can get a $500 award, $300 award, and a $150 award, it gives an incentive as going back to the community. The money that we raise stays in the community, just like our Kiwanis Capers that we just recently had. We give scholarships back to the community in the tune of about $20,000. The process, scholarship committee is probably the best committee in our organization, where there is a group of men and women who look at each application. As I understand it, you have to look at each application. You can't vote unless you looked at them all. And there's a process of elimination. 130 applications, you got to whittle it down to like 25 or 30. Then you have an interview at the high school, and then you select that 20, okay? And that's a hard thing to do, to give out $21,000 scholarship. There's also, we have scholarships.
Well, because the 21st, 22nd, 23rd people may be as deserving.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's through the interview process, how the individual student projects himself and how it's received by the selection committee. I would not want to be on it, because I would want to give it to everybody. I'm greedy. But and this is what Kiwanis is all about. I mean, Kiwanis, as I said to you earlier, I am the lieutenant governor for 7 clubs in the Hudson Valley, and each of the clubs have a certain function other than the global initiative, which is the Eliminate Project. And I'll give you a quick overview of that. That's a project that is working in conjunction with UNICEF of eliminating the neonatal infection, where a mother giving birth, the baby gets infected, and the baby dies within several days. The baby can't take light, touch, or sound, and the baby just basically withers away. So for $1.60, we can eliminate that. Kiwanis originally, a number of years ago, had another task to do on a worldwide basis. Again, we're an international organization. We eliminated the iodine deficiency about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, as a combination. There's no more iodine deficiency in the world because of Kiwanis' effort.
So now I know, when I see the sign and I come into Kingston or another community, just you know, what kind of extraordinary work you guys are doing. I appreciate you being on the show. We'll have you back again sometime early in 2013 to talk about the Kingston Classic,
Yeah,
which
that
is
would be
April,
great.
do you know the date yet?
April 14th.
April 14th.
Day
And good luck
before
as being
tax.
president, Ken.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
This is Kingston Now. Next up, it's musical prodigy Connor Kennedy, who was named one of the people to watch in 2012 by Hudson Valley Magazine, and who on Halloween will play the music of the Allman Brothers, featuring members of the Greg Allman Band and the band at the Bearsville Theater. Stay tuned. You're watching Kingston Now, and we're joined by Connor Kennedy of Saugerties, who was not only named one of the people to watch in 2012 by Hudson Valley Magazine, but was also the cover shot of the issue. Hi, Connor.
Hey, Jimmy.
So did the magazine cover make you famous?
Not really, but I was seeing myself everywhere.
What was that like, walking around and seeing yourself on magazine racks and in stores?
It was surreal, to say the least. I was in Stewart Airport, and there I was at the gas station every morning. And
Casually mentioning to people, oh, look at that magazine.
not quite.
It's a great shot of you, though. In where was the shot taken?
Up at Club Helsinki in Hudson.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you're a local musician. You're getting a lot of attention for your musical prowess at a young age. You've now broken the 18 barrier, but for several years now, you've been making the musical rounds, playing in bands, fronting your own band. But the story goes back a little bit to high school, where you were going to school in Saugerties, and due to budget cuts, they were going to eliminate the music program, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was in school one day, and word was being passed around that they had walked around with pink slips, and they were, basically telling teachers that they were going to lay them off, and also the music program was at risk. And, it really bothered me, because that was the one thing that my heart was truly into, and that was the time of the day that I really looked forward to every day, was, going down to band and playing. So it was upsetting,
So you organized a concert?
Yeah, I put together a little concert with some people that have since become my very good friends, the Alexis P. Suter Band and the Organics, featuring Jay Collins and Bruce Katz.
Guys who play with Greg Allman and
yeah.
the band.
Yeah, and so it all kind of came together, and we did this show with my band and some other local musicians, and we raised a little bit of money, and it was a great night.
So from there, you have moved on to fronting your own band, the Connor Kennedy Band, and working with some of these world-class musicians.
Yeah.
That's pretty heady stuff for a young musician, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's great. We're lucky that we live in an area where these guys also happen to live, not only for listening pleasure, but for me as a musician, being able to surround myself with guys that are on such a high level of professionalism and musical talent is really, it's pushing me along and making me strive to grow.
Well, last year at the Bearsville Theater, you did a pretty extraordinary thing called Rethink Pink.
Yeah.
Where you performed the music of Pink Floyd. Was it the Animals album?
Well, we did the Halloween show. We did pretty much a mixed bag of the Pink Floyd catalog. We tried to cover all the bases and make everybody happy, and most of all, we were happy, because I've been an avid Pink Floyd fan for a long time, and it was so great to finally be able to get out and play some of that music.
Your musical tastes sort of run to that 70s classic rock era more and more as you sort of get older. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I listen to all kinds of music. I listen to hip-hop, I listen to R&B, I listen to soul. Primarily, though, I'm definitely grounded in that 70s classic rock, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, the Grateful Dead, but of course the mainstays, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, they're all important.
And next week on Halloween, again at the Bearsville Theater, you're going to be doing the music of the Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
So how did it occur to you to do the Allman Brothers?
The last show that we did was Derek and the Dominoes' Layla album, which features Duane Allman.
The late, great Duane Allman, of course, yeah.
On the record. And since I get to play with these guys that are so in that circle, Scott Sherrard, who's in Greg Allman's band, I kind of felt like the next step was the obvious choice, was to do the Allman Brothers.
Cool. Well, you've gotten an opportunity to play with some pretty extraordinary, top-notch musicians in addition to the folks who are here, and we're going to talk about that when we come back, and maybe you'll play us a song?
Yeah.
This is Kingston Now. Next, we're going to hear some live music in the studio with Connor Kennedy. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Kingston Now. On Halloween, the Connor Kennedy Band will be playing the music of the Allman Brothers, featuring members of the Greg Allman Band, the band, and Miles Mancuso at the Bearsville Theater. And before we get to you playing a song of your own here in the studio, I just want to note for people watching that you've had some really good fortune. You've had the opportunity to sit in with some extraordinary musicians like Billy Payne of Little Feat, and Donald Fagen invited you to sit in with the Dukes of September. What's that like, to play with guys of that stature?
Well, it's always different, you know, depending on who it is and where it is, but it's always really unbelievable because these are people that I sat around listening to for hours, and, you know, people that I'm truly, like, huge fans of.
And they're really generous, it seems like, with their support.
Both Bill and Donald are unbelievable people, and just so great to me, and it's always the best experiences, you know.
Well, great. You've got a guitar in your hand. I know that you're going to be doing the Allman Brothers music next week, but we'd like to hear you do something of your own tonight.
Yeah. I'll play this song. It's called Down by the Water.
Smile. Said really morning. Guess we've been away a while. Remember what they said? They took you by the hand. You to the river's edge, filled your heart with sand, took you down, down by the water, took you down, down by the sea, took you down. Brought me down, down, down on your knees. Down on your knees.
Terrific. Connor Kennedy, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
That's it for this week's show. Our thanks to Ken Backofen and Al Teetsel, David Howells of the Kingston Kiwanis Club. To find out more about them and upcoming events, go to KingstonKiwanis.org. And for more about Connor Kennedy and his Halloween show at the Bearsville Theater, go to BearsvilleTheater.com. Remember, all of our previous shows are available on our YouTube channel, and you can find that link on our Facebook page. For Kingston Now, I'm Jimmy Buck. We'll see you next time.